Greetings, everyone. Welcome to Verse Breakdown. I am ewaenruwa from It Pays to Fear God, and the verse for today is Matthew chapter 7, verse 7, where Jesus Christ had stated, "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you." Now, of course, these three statements all kind of mean the same thing. It's looking or seeking for God. And we do so by studying the scriptures. Study to show thyself approved unto God, a workman that needeth not to be ashamed, rightly dividing the word of truth. 2 Timothy chapter 2, verse 15. We meditate on it. This book of the law shall not depart out of thy mouth, but thou shalt meditate therein day and night, that thou mayest observe to do according to all that is written therein. For then thou shalt make thy way prosperous, and then thou shalt have good success. Joshua chapter 1, verse 8. And we ask God for wisdom. If any of you lack wisdom, let him ask of God, that giveth to all men liberally, and upbraideth not, and it shall be given him. That is how we hunger for righteousness. We hunger to have a better understanding and relationship with God. If we read Matthew chapter 5 and verses 3 and 6. And God has promised that people who seek him will find him no matter what. If we read 1 Chronicles chapter 28 verse 9 and 2 Chronicles chapter 15 and verses 1 and 2. And in Isaiah chapter 42 verse 16, God said to Isaiah the son of Amos, "I will bring the blind by a way they knew not. I will lead them in paths they have not known. I will make darkness light before them, and crooked paths straight. These things will I do unto them, and will not forsake them." And the Bible has given us examples of people who sought God like that. If you look at Jeremiah chapter 38 from verses 1 to 13, Ebed-Melech showed his interest and hunger for righteousness by rescuing Jeremiah from the pits that he was thrown in by the powerful people in Jerusalem who were tired of hearing Jeremiah curse Jerusalem and say it was going to be destroyed, or the Babylonians were going to take over it, and so on and so forth. Ebed-Melech did not believe that Jeremiah, a righteous prophet, should have to go through such a thing. So he made sure, he pleaded with King Zedekiah to remove Jeremiah from that well, and indeed it happened. And because of that, Ebed-Melech was spared from the destruction and the killing of all the people in that area. And the Ethiopian eunuch in Acts chapter 8 from verses 26 to 40 did the same thing. He was somebody who was interested in the Bible, the scriptures, the Pentateuch, etc. And he was reading Isaiah chapter 53 verse 7 when he got puzzled. He was stuck. He was like, what does this mean? And then because he hungered to understand righteousness, to understand God's will and prophecies, God sent Philip to that Ethiopian eunuch, and Philip explained it to him, and he was baptized, and the rest of the story went the way it went. It's important that we understand when we seek God, we will find him. When we draw to God, he will be close to us. If we read James chapter 4 verse 8. And that's where I think I can stop on discussing the verse Matthew chapter 7 verse 7, which reads, "Ask, and it shall be given you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be opened unto you."